fans, and welcome to a very special evening here on VirtualRacing.Network. It's the All-Star event for the NORA Cup Series 2023, race 16 of 36 this season, and it's presented by Abby Sweet Treats Home Bakery. Tonight, we'll be at North Wilkesboro, just like the real-life series. It's the All-Star event, and we begin with an All-Star Open. All of the drivers that haven't yet qualified to make it into the feature race for tonight. It'll be 60 laps long here at this 0.62-mile circuit. We saw so much great action here last night from the NORA Truck Series, and you should be expecting some awesome racing tonight here on VirtualRacing.Network. Hello, everyone. I'm Trevor Greenfield, and I'll be joined tonight for this initial race by none other than Nick Eilis and Vincent Arthur, who is sitting atop the points here in the NORA Cup Series. Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to the broadcast. What do we have to expect here tonight at North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. It's fun.
I should introduce you, Nick. Welcome, and let us know what you think we can do here as the cars are already rolling out there.
Yeah, so with this track being a version of the track from 1987, it's not going to look exactly like it did past that in real life, but I do think you're going to see a lot of bumping and banging. These cars are a lot tougher than the trucks, and they can take a decent hit to them. So expect to see people getting moved out of position to try to make their way, for people to make their way through.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, Nick, I think one of the things we're going to see tonight is aggression. You know, that's going to be the name of the game as the pace car pulls off here, and we're going green.
And we are, in fact, green here for the open race. Bit of a different format. Jake Christenberry already up on the wheel, leading this field around. Second place is Brady Moats. Brady, proud sponsor of tonight's event as well for the feature race.
We got a wreck.
And we do have a wreck. Who is that? It's Kulikowski and Gladilich. At the back, we've got Kulikowski around. It hasn't yet brought out that yellow, but it will before very long because he is sitting crossways on the track. And there's the yellow. Also see that David Chandler is out.
Oh, my word. Oh, no.
Well, unfortunately, that has cost us quite a few cars here as Chad Engel caught up in that mess. And I believe also Josh Conover caught up in that mess as well.
No, Josh's admin, he never took the start.
Oh, he didn't take the start.
Christenberry, however, wrecked from the lead.
Unfortunate stuff there for Christenberry. I was just seeing that another driver, David Chandler, was also around. And as you saw there, Chad Engel. So let's go ahead and step back here. We'll take a look and see exactly what happened here as Kulikowski was sitting still, and then we'll take a look here on board with Christenberry, who does not see the upcoming stalled car and before it's too late, and then takes evasive action, heads up the track, and before you know it, that DoorDash machine has delivered its last lap, unfortunately, for Christenberry. My goodness, that was... Guys, that's a rough one. Nick, I guess you can tell us from an administrative point of view what just happened there and whether or not that's exactly kosher what we just saw what happened.
Yeah, from my point of view, I personally as an admin do not like that. I do believe, at least from my understanding, that looked like Adam sat there trying to draw out the caution flag, did not make an attempt to move, and as such, he sat in the racing line, of all places, into a relatively difficult corner. I just really don't like that incident. So that's a very weird and not kosher incident.
Trying to find ways to explain it. Unfortunately, it looked like it tagged another vehicle there. I'm trying to figure out who exactly that was. But one of the other cars got hit in that incident. There it is, Matthew Hibbs for Nightmare Motorsports. So already unfortunate for a number of these drivers to be sitting where they're at. But Brady Moats will now move into the lead either way. The driver from Alberta, Alabama, And of course, the 98 Exteriors, his sponsor is sponsoring the pot, the $100 pot for later on tonight at that feature race, where anybody who wins this race will get that $100, and that's pretty exciting for all of these All-Stars. Of course, here tonight in this format, in this open race, the top 2 finishers are the ones that will move on to that feature race. So completely different format for us here on the NORA Cup and Truck Network. But Vincent, we're just getting going here. What's it like if you get out there for a lap or two, and all of a sudden there's an accident that happens in front? How do you just regather yourself and try to refocus?
The nerves are up at the beginning of these things. It's always super tense, especially for the open here as we're taking back the green flag. For this open race, you said it, the pot is $100 tonight. That is a lot of money for anybody, let alone these racers. And, this is their shot to get in the big show. So they're going to do whatever it needs to take, or whatever needs to be done to be able to get into that show. So they're going to be wrecking people. They're going to be moving people, doing everything they can. As the 55 gets really loose off the corner there. Good save by him.
I'd actually like to add on to that. For 2 of the drivers tonight, there is an extra $100 bonus being thrown out by Christopher Heights to specifically the 2 drivers that were slated to start on the front row. If they would take an EOL and start the race from the back and manage to win, there's a bonus $100 for those 2 drivers, and that would be Cody Reeder and myself. And I can tell you right now, we've both accepted that challenge.
Well, that would be, oh my goodness.
22 goes around. It looks like he just lost it in the middle of the corner.
That was some scary stuff from the 22, but also amazing what you were just saying about the potential money that is at stake tonight for those drivers in the feature. So a lot at stake here, no points at stake, but a lot of money at stake for these drivers. And we are yellow again. Let's go ahead and jump back and see if we can figure out exactly what happened to Cody Height as he was just diving into the corner there. Got about halfway in. I think he kind of checked up and then somehow under braking got loose.
Yeah, what I see there is he just got into the corner a little hot. Tried to get the car slowed down, but at that point the rear was already going. And these things, it's so hard to catch the rear. We don't have any side force anymore. The bodies are so symmetrical. So once you get sideways like that, it's almost game over. You're either gonna spin, down to the inside, or you're gonna do what Cody did there and overcorrect to the outside. Really unfortunate for him. And
maybe you guys know a little bit more about this guy who's on the screen. Matt Tucker joining us here on VirtualRacing.Network for the first time on broadcast, and he steps in and he's already running second place here. A great start for his night.
Yeah, Matt is a really smart driver. I've worked with him over the past couple of weeks being Flatline Motorsports teammates, and he's a smart driver. He keeps himself out of trouble, and at the end of the day, he's there to get the job done. So keep an eye on him. If not for this race, definitely for the All-Star race if he makes it through.
Well, he's in.
I'd echo that sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely, and he is in position to potentially do that here, sitting in second place. And those of you who watched last night and watch each week, you'll be familiar with this guy, Christian Snyder. He's usually up here in the booth, but got a chance to run here tonight as he was able to compete. So it's always great to see him back behind the wheel. And if he does manage to get up into the top 2, it's not a for sure that he'll be able to run, but says he's going to feel it out. He does have some health issues, so just trying to make it through the race here tonight. But so far, looking really good there, sitting in 4th place at the moment. But Brady Motes is having a great run, and that's not really surprising, guys. Brady's a great racer. We've seen up in the top 5 frequently, and right now sitting at the very top of the charts, in position to move on.
I think this is a wonderful opportunity for Brady. He's a really aggressive driver, really, really good on these short sprints. And as the race has been playing out right now, we've seen that that's been the name of the game so far. But I would say keep an eye on Brady to definitely be up there in the top 2, if not for the fan vote.
Yeah. So Brady, I think if we were including the Truck Series victories from last year, I believe he would have actually been in, but we didn't. We only counted the Grand Nationals. That was our top series from the previous season. Sadly, he was unable to pick up a win there, but he has the speed each week. This is definitely his opportunity, and I think he wins. He's my pick to win this and transfer him.
Well, it's a pretty safe bet, but Brady is getting all he can handle from Matt Tucker. Now challenges on that inside line. And I'm just thinking Matt is just about to put a wheel, put that nose underneath the number 15 car. And now we've got Chad Engel up there. It looks like all these guys want to get up there and get into those top 2 positions. There's nobody holding back here at North Wilkesboro.
Oh, not at all. I mean, this is their opportunity. I feel like if that's 77, he's really good off of turn 4. You know, down in turn 1 and 2, Brady can kind of hold his own. But I'm telling you, if that 77 gets to his inside quarter going into 3, I think he'll take the lead here.
I think I didn't get a chance to watch the broadcast back from last night, but I'm almost certain that at some point it was talked about. This track is actually has some elevation change to it, so you can see guys that are better in 1 and 2 and better than guys that are better in 3 and 4 simply on that grounds. It's a lot easier for some guys to get into 3 and 4 than it is into 1 and 2. You can actually break a little bit harder getting into 3 and 4 than you can through 1 and 2.
Well, I believe the deal is it's uphill on the back stretch and it's downhill on the front stretch. And I've never visited this track, would love to, but I understand that's one of the unique characteristics of this great track. And here tonight, of course, all the legends in NASCAR that have ever come along pretty much through 1996 have won here at North Wilkesboro, and it is it's always exciting for us to be here as really you can just feel NASCAR history. But for a short track, what an awesome facility, and it races so excellently. Here's Brady Motes, Matt Tucker, and Chad Engel all covered by a blanket and working on lap number 22. Here comes Matt Tucker to the inside. Is he going to try to hold this one to the inside, or will he back out? Brady Motes hanging onto that outside line, and Matt can't get it done on the inside. That is kind of what we saw last night in the truck race. That outside line was really working well.
So I think it looked like Matt got a little loose there, though, on the corner exit that could have kept him from being able to hold that line down the straightaway.
But I like what I'm seeing out of the 77. He's being really patient. He's gathering his runs. When he gets close enough, he takes a different line through 1 and 2, is able to generate momentum down the backstretch. And then, like I was talking about earlier, you know, once you get into 3 and 4, if he hadn't have gotten loose right there, I feel like he would have had the position down to 1 and 2. But Chad Engel's coming to the inside here. He's been really impressive this race. He's been working around, finding the grooves, and he's picked up a lot of speed here.
And if you're Matt Tucker, you probably don't want to have Chad behind you for too long, just because Chad's going to be aggressive. He doesn't know, you know, if he's going to make it in or not.
That is true. I mean, Matt really doesn't have anything to lose, but Chad wants in very, very badly. I'm sure Brady does too. Chad has been racing really hard in NORA and put in a lot of effort, and certainly for him to not automatically qualify, it's kind of a surprise. Just like Brady Motes, honestly, like you were saying, I mean, if you went off of other series, you would have expected him to have already made it in. But as it is, Brady has to work his way in.
And we got 81 around into turn 3. See if that brings out a caution here.
That's Chandler around again. He had a problem earlier. Oh, no. Is it Chandler? No, the 84 there of Chandler. It said that he had a moment. We'll go back and take a look at that here in a second. But so far, no yellow flag has come out.
It does look like he towed back to pit road.
So we stay cautionless here on lap number 29. Take a look at that replay, though, and see what happened to David Chandler. Oh, right up into the wall there.
Just gets out of shape and hits the gate opening there.
Absolutely. But, of course, he did do what you were talking about, Nick. Just pretty much immediately towed off of the racing line. There I see it. Looks like Engel is around. And he's in the grass.
He had a trip through the grass there. He got loose off of 2. Trying to, he put the bumper to Matt down in 1 and 2, and then just got a little loose off the corner. It was really unfortunate for him. He's been having a really, really good night so far.
The good news for him, though, is that he didn't sustain damage from that.
Yeah, we just hit halfway.
I can't believe that he didn't go down and tag that inside wall, but he somehow managed to avoid it. So right now, the top two to transfer, Brady Moats and Matt Tucker, but here comes Adam Kulikowski in that 45 machine, and he's still hanging strong in this one. I think he may have something to say about this before it's too far over, and Christian Snyder also still hanging on strong in 4th place. So a number of these drivers still have a chance at that transfer spot, and you know they're going to be giving it everything they've got here. Like you said, Vincent, we're just over halfway.
Yeah, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of the 77. He's been consistently the fastest on track for the past about 5 laps here, and Chad just took the fastest lap that past time around, so obviously that trip through the grass didn't hurt him too much. But that 77, he's going to be on the 15s bumper for the rest of this race.
I think not having Chad behind him anymore, he doesn't have to worry about defending. He's able to run his line now and try to get Brady and try to move him to win this.
Well, that's a fantastic point, Nick. He is able to focus a bit more, but as he's doing that, it looks to me like Kulikowski is starting to close in on both of these drivers, which I find very interesting, as Brady and Matt have seemed to be in control of this one so far, but Kulikowski not backing off, and like I said, he is starting to close in.
Yeah, I've been looking at that 45. He's very fast here. As a 77 goes to the inside, I think he's got the move done here. Yes, he has. New leader.
He was decisive. He put the wheel to him in turn 3, and he moves ahead. Matt Tucker, in his debut here on broadcast of VirtualRacing.Network, has taken the lead with 24 laps remaining here at North Wilkesboro in the open race for the All-Star event for the NORA Cup Series. This is awesome stuff. We haven't seen this kind of short track racing out of NORA this season so far, but it's been a really, really good race here so far, and hopefully this bodes well for what we're going to see a little bit later on with that feature race. Adam Kulikowski, though, still close enough to claw his way into this transfer spot in 2nd place, and Christian Snyder just sitting outside of the range in order to be able to do that. But guys, I don't know, is Brady Moats going to be able to get this one back together in challenge?
It's going to be tough. It looks like he ran his tires off a little earlier. I mean, one of Brady's best strengths is just being absolutely rapid on the short to mid run. But oftentimes, especially at tracks that wear your tires, just like Wilkesboro, Darlington, old Atlanta, you know, he would be really quick out of the gate, and then he would start to struggle later in the race. So we'll see if that's the case. We'll see if he's able to back off a little bit, cool his tires down, and then, you know, give Matt a challenge here at the end.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well, Vincent, is that I think his tires have gone off.
And that's going to be a factor here tonight. Taking a look over here at the weather, it is only 98 degrees on the track right now, but that's warm enough that it's going to start to heat these tires up over these long green flag runs. So depending on whether or not we get another caution, give these guys a chance to cool these tires down. It does look like whoever can take care of their tires the best here is going to end up the victor. But right now, Brady Moats really hasn't fallen too far back. He's still in this one. And Matt Tucker doing a fabulous job, though. Once he made that pass, he's still holding on. Hasn't really made a mistake. Looking back, there's Adam Kulikowski again. It seems like he ebbs and flows. He starts to gain a little bit. He starts to lose a little bit. Looking a little bit further back, there's Christian Snyder, but he's got Chad Engel now on his back bumper, trying to challenge for that 4th spot. And, of course, the only 2 positions that anybody is really caring about is those top 2. But certainly these other guys still embroiled in a battle here. And Gladelich, you know, I mean, anything could happen with these top 2. I mean, they could both wreck. We could have a caution, and anybody could get a shot at it. But here it looks like Brady Moats going to try to take another chance at it. No, he thinks better of it and backs back out. So are we going to see, I mean, you know that you're still good to get in if you're in the top 2, but don't you still want to win if you're Brady Moats?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, any one of these competitors, they want to win this race. As he's looking to the inside here, he's really making Matt think about where he's running. You know, he takes a little bit of a higher lane here. He'll get the run off it too. Oh, Matt did a really good job of shutting the door there, and they're up into 3 and 4. And Brady's going to have to back off and go again. But, you know, we're all competitors. We're here to win. You know, even if he's in the safe transfer spot, obviously he's not going to take as many risks as he was if this was for a race win. But he still wants that win just as much as anybody else does.
Well, this race, anything but decided, as Brady Motes now takes the look underneath, just like you were talking about, Vincent. Hard to get that run off of the corner, though. It looks like that high side is really working. That exit giving you that little bit of extra miles per hour run off of the corner. And Kulikowski really drifting up wide there on exit. I think he's just trying to find every little bit of speed that he can to try to catch these front two and somehow make it into the show. But time is dwindling down. Just 11 laps remain between Matt Tucker and Brady Motes, who are in position to qualify for the feature race. Adam Kulikowski still within earshot, but starting to drift back a little bit. He may have used up those tires. And Christian Snyder still holding tight in 4th place in that 55 machine. You see a little bit of action back there between Engel and Gladelich for that position. But I don't think any of that matters again tonight, not for points. It's all about getting up there into those 2 top spots. And then as soon as this one's over, you got to re-rack them and head back out there again, 120 laps. And, of course, whoever wins that fan vote also will get a chance to transfer over as well.
Yeah, one of the things I'm seeing out of the 77 here is he's searching around. But when he does try to run the bottom, as Brady is on his bumper, when he tries to run the bottom, it's really bumpy down in turn 3 and 4. If you get those left sides on there and you hit it just right, your splitter is going to bottom out and you're going to lose all sorts of front grip. And Brady has done a wonderful job of keeping his left front underneath those bumps and giving him the rotation that's allowing him to roll to the bumper of the 77. The 77 is just lucking out with being able to carry the momentum off of 4. But I tell you, if Brady hooks that bottom like he has been, and the 77 hits those bumps just wrong, I think Brady can take the lead of this thing.
Go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say, I don't think Brady's going to be too aggressive with it. There's, with just so few laps to go and the distance to Adam, he knows he's going to move on at this point. If he just finishes right here, I don't think he's going to, unless the opportunity is just blatant and absolutely sitting there, I don't think he's going to try and move Matt. I don't think you're going to see any kind of ridiculous move to try to get past Matt. I think it'll just be a safe and easy coast to the finish, unless, you know, there's just something he absolutely can't pass up take. Because he has no pressure, and there's nothing to lose by just riding behind him.
Besides the starting spot, you do advance 1 spot.
That is true. That you are correct on.
And there is the pride factor. Of course, we haven't been seeing Matt Tucker out there. Brady Motes wants to take that W no matter what. I mean, certainly Brady, quite the boisterous one over in the YouTube chat when we see him. Loves to be a part of the show, loves to go out there and compete. And to see somebody like Matt just show up and be able to go out there and win, it doesn't make you feel good. So I'd imagine Brady really wants to take that W. Either way, watching on, and Brady doing a great job here tonight. I mean, again, he's used to racing with a lot of these other guys, Adam Kulikowski, Chad Engel, Gladelich, Cody Height, a lot of these drivers racing all together throughout the whole season. But to see a newbie, at least to the recent NORA Cup Series, come in like Tucker, and be able to do this already right off the bat, it does say a lot. As we now have the white flag in hand, so if Tucker and Motes can hold it together, they will transfer. Kulikowski sitting back a little over 2 1/4 seconds. And guys, I think this one's done and dusted for Tucker. White flag, and now checkered flag in hand, and that's going to do it here for the open race for the All-Star event of the NORA Cup Series.
Those are 2 very deserving drivers. A lot of clean racing there. Matt was obviously super smart about his tires, just kept Brady far enough back where he was able to take that take the victory, and then, you know, Brady just staying in front of the carnage. and getting into that top 2.
So exciting stuff there, and I mean, just really a great race from these two. We'll take a look here at your final results on the screen. There it is, Matt Tucker taking victory here in the open race. In second place to Brady Moats, Adam Kulikowski taking third, Christian Snyder in fourth, Gladelich in fifth, Chad Engel in sixth, Cody Height seventh, Chandler in eighth, Hibbs in ninth, Thomas in 10th, Christenberry in 11th, and 12th going to Josh Conover. And who was it that took the fan vote, if you can say, Nick?
That fan vote came down to the top 5 being in no particular order, except for numerical, was Matt Hibbs, Brady Moats, Cody Height, Jake Christenberry, and Chad Engel. And Cody Height is your fan vote winner.
All right. I'm sure that Cody Height on YouTube, as he is known, will be so excited to learn that. He didn't have a great race here in the Open, so he'll get to move on. And thanks to all the fans that did vote. And this was some good stuff here in the Open race. I know you two have to get on off to your race cars, and we'll see you out there in the feature race. Appreciate you stepping up here into the booth, guys.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've been wanting to broadcast for a little bit, so thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully we'll give you a show.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to it. Anytime you want to come up here, I appreciate it. Have a great race, guys.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
So that is Nick Geilis and Vincent Arthur stepping in to talk with us here in the All-Star Show, just to fill in a little bit of time and step in and get a little bit of broadcasting under their belts. It's always great to have them, but of course, rather see them out there on the track doing what they do best. And so we'll be stepping over and stepping into the other server here on iRacing. So stay with us here on VirtualRacing.Network, as we're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network, and we will be having lots of great green flag action here. It's the feature race coming up next here on VirtualRacing.Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back, race fans. Hope you enjoyed that short intermission, got something to drink, something to snack on, because it's time for the feature event here for the All-Star event for the NORA Cup Series 2023 here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, presented by Abby's Sweet Treats, as always. And so great to have you with us here as we get set to go for this 120-lap race. Of course, this is, as all races are, brought to you by Abby's Sweet Treats Home Bakery, making such great treats. They look so good, they taste so good. You'll feel great having these excellent artistically designed cookies. And you can see cookies, it's cake pops, it's Oreo pies, it's brownies, it's all kinds of goodies, custom designed. And they can ship them out to you straight from their headquarters in Minnesota. Certainly don't want to miss out on that. And you can also help support the NORA Cup and Truck Series as well. Head on over to abcobb@gmail.com, send her an email, or see them on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. That's Abby Dreyer, owner in Plymouth, Minnesota, 812-264-1624. Order up some stuff and have them sent to you. And as I mentioned, Christian, and he'll be joining us here in a second. I also ordered a bunch of cookies. I got confirmation they're in the mail and headed to me, so I can't wait to get those as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our final sponsor of tonight. This is 98 Exteriors Site Work and Hauling. This is a sponsor, of course, of Brady Moats, who did make it into tonight's feature event, supplying $100 to whoever wins tonight's event. And also, I understand that Christopher Heights also has decided to put up an extra amount into that purse for whoever decides to start from the back and work their way to the front. I believe it's another $50. Is it $50 or $100? But either way, excellent money. Thank you so much for them joining with us. If you have any needs in Alberta, Alabama for site work and hauling, give 98 Exteriors a call. Family-run business for Brady Moats. And now I get to welcome into the booth. He finished 4th place in that open race. Too bad he couldn't qualify quite there to get into tonight's feature race. But Christian Snyder now joining us here on the broadcast. And welcome, Christian. Great to have you with us. And how was that first race? And what are these guys going to be expecting out there tonight?
That open was a lot of fun. I mean, I wish I could have finished a lot better, but the All-Star race should be a lot more exciting than the open. It was kind of ride the bottom in the open and 2 cars pulled away. But, I'm disappointed that I obviously didn't make it. But in the end, I mean, I was one of the only clean cars. I didn't wreck anybody, like I said I was going to. But, I mean, I kept it clean. I ran good. It just feels good to be back out there with these guys. It's been so long since I've raced with them, and, it feels good to be back.
I can certainly imagine, and we'll love it when you can get back out there full time. In the meantime, we're soaking up all the time that we get with you here in the booth, Christian, because you make these broadcasts so much better. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the North Wilkesboro All-Star event presented by Abby's Sweet Treats here on VirtualRacing.Network. Starting on pole position will be Josh Conover. He's going to be hard to stop from there, but I tell you what, in second place, Vincent Arthur, and knowing that there's a bunch of money on the line, I think Vincent might be very interested in getting up there challenging his teammate there at Flatline Motorsports. Starting in that second row, they're going to start from the back to try to get all that money. That's what they're doing.
I think the order's a little glitched because Josh Conover's back in the field.
Well, I'm not sure, but that's the way that it had been ordered. We'll see if we can get it to reorder. Is this more correct, Cody Reeder?
He was, but now he's in the back. I think it's Thaxton actually on pole.
Well, shoot. That's not much good to any of us, is it?
Yeah.
Well, we'll take
I mean,
a look.
if you just go through the cars, I'll announce them. I know who they are. It looks like Ronnie is up toward the front too. So
Well-
yeah, we got Thaxton, Kleba, Tim Harper in third, Vincent Arthur. That is.
It does show
Oh,
Vincent
man,
Arthur in
Pepsi.
fourth place
Oh, it
in
is
that number
Vincent, yeah.
24. So Vincent
so
Arthur
Vincent.
there. Ronnie Norman
Ben-
going to be starting in fifth, I think. Matthew
Yep.
George in sixth. Josh Conover will start in seventh. Matt Tucker in eighth. Brady Moats in ninth. Cody Height in 10th. Cody Reeder in 11th. And Nick Geilis there in 12th. So your two drivers that made it in are now ready to go. Matt Tucker and Brady Moats, look for him. But here's Josh Thaxton up there in the front and ready to race. Dustin Kleba, though, quickly to the front for KPR Motorsports. And Vincent Arthur right on his tail. Vincent ready to go. You know, Vincent was up here in the booth giving us all kinds of bits of wisdom, but you just know he was ready to dive into that seat and get going. There we see a lot of racing here in the mid-pack. This is Matt Tucker getting swallowed up here with Josh Conover and Brady Moats. This is definitely a lot more competition than they had in that first race.
Yeah, definitely a lot more side-by-side so far. I mean, there was a wreck early in the open that didn't really allow for this, but Vincent Arthur in the wall.
Vincent
man.
scraping that wall. You see the damage on the right front. Now 3 wide coming off of 2.
That's pretty heavy damage there. He bent the right front a little bit.
That is some scary stuff. Taking a look there, as it looked like he might even get the infamous, cling to the wall, like a vacuum sucking you up into the wall, but managed to escape that vacuum power. But take a look at this. Dustin Kleba, he has been a force to be reckoned with in the NORA series, and he is picking up right where he left off. Right now in the lead by 1.25 seconds and not really looking back. If this one stays green, look out for Dustin Kleba. Tim Harper, though, now up into that second spot with that struggle of Vincent Arthur. Harper continuing his great running. He had a fantastic truck last night. Thought he might take victory. And now we take a little bit further back. That's Conover and I believe Matthew George racing side by side there. Conover now marching ahead in that 25, just up on his teammate there from Flatline Motorsports. And now Conover going to set his sights for Thaxton up in 4th place.
Yeah, you were talking about Timmy Harper. He's going to be one to watch. He finished second last night. He's got a feel for this track, so we got to watch out for him. But Vincent Arthur challenging now on the inside. He gets a little bit loose, though. Timmy tries to cut him off. He will. He does clear him. And now Thaxton, that's going to allow him to catch up here as well as Conover.
Thaxton marches up towards the front in 4th place. He's only lost 1 place from where he started, and this is also Thaxton's first time here on the broadcast, so great to see him doing so well in that number 42. But so far it's Kleba, Harper, and Arthur, your top 3 after 9 laps. And we've got 120 to go here tonight, so are we going to see tire degradation play a role out there? Certainly it's a little bit cooler. I mean, it's a lot cooler than it was last night in the truck race, and quite a bit cooler on the track than we saw earlier in the open race. It's only 81 degrees track temperature right now, Christian.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the track temp for the open was, but it was loose. And with it cooling off, these guys have more grip than the guys in the open did. So shouldn't see too many people get loose off of 2, but we did see that a lot in the open there.
Well, it was like 98 degrees, I believe, in the open on the track, and that was something. But you remember the truck guys talking last night, 120 plus degrees on the track last night. So you just imagine when they said it was greasy out there, they absolutely meant it. But fortunately, these Cup drivers, a little bit more grip, not going to be worrying quite as much about those tires going off on them as fast, but it's still going to be a factor. I mean, this track does eat these tires, and as we can see, Arthur getting very close to the back end there of Harper. We might see a challenge here, and certainly as you can manage these tires over that long green flag run, that's who's probably going to emerge at the front after, say, about 20 laps under green.
Yeah, I learned real quick that saving tires was important. I was kind of driving it in too hard in the corner, and that eats up the tires. What you got to do is kind of brake early and let the car roll to center in order to save tires. And the straighter you are on exit, the better you're able to get the throttle down. So whenever you roll that corner, you just got to wait on the throttle, and as soon as you're straight, gun it.
Well, Dustin Kleba has been doing what he needs to do to stay in front, and he's holding a pretty solid margin in front of Timmy Harper back there. But like I said, I expect this to kind of start to break open here within a couple of laps, certainly with this lap traffic now becoming a factor.
Yeah, lap traffic, not a factor in the open, but with these guys, I mean, Kleba, he's lights out, so he's going to catch somebody. And, I think Nick Geilis had a moment, because he should be fast and he should have been up there in the top. So it looks like maybe a little bit of right front damage is slowing him down. He's going to want 4 fresh tires as soon as possible.
Absolutely, but beautiful paint job nonetheless for Nick Geilis there out of Nightmare Motorsports. Certainly getting plenty of screen time now that he's racing right in front of the leader. And now is he holding up the leader? But we do have a challenge there for second place. It's Vincent Arthur who now takes that place and moves right ahead of Timmy Harper. He's going to try to bring it down on exit, but Harper not able to re-challenge for that position. And so move Arthur up into second. He wants that money. I think he can taste it. $100 on the line for Vincent Arthur if he can manage to take victory here tonight.
Well, something interesting, there was an extra $100 on the line for Reeder and Geilis to start in the back, and they're still in the back, so they're not able to pass anybody.
Well, it's one thing to accept the challenge. It's another to excel at the challenge. Right now, though, Dustin Kleba didn't accept that challenge, and perhaps he's on his way to the easier $100 to make here tonight. Of course, courtesy of 98. We appreciate them stepping up to the plate and putting that money up. So will it be Kleba who takes that money at the end of the night? Will it be Vincent Arthur, Timothy Harper, Josh Thaxton, or Josh Conover, who's now up into that 5th spot? We'll find out. You can never count out some of these others either. Brady Moats, he almost took victory there in the open race, and certainly Matt... What's that?
Sorry, he just made a pass on Matthew George there.
Well,
so he's moving up.
He is moving up. He knows how to be slightly aggressive and take some of those positions. I was going to say about Matthew George, though, it's not time for Matthew George to arrive at the front yet. We got to wait till about 10 to 20 laps to go, and then magically there's Matthew George in the top 5. But Dustin Kleba doing exactly what he needs to do here tonight, holding a 1.93 second advantage, and I mean, this is about as solid. I mean, I don't remember last night that advantage going to more than 2 seconds. This is as solid as a lead as we have seen both of these 2 nights. But looking back, it looks like Vincent Arthur now working under Nick Geilis and getting around for able to put him a lap down. And now Timmy Harper just about to do the same. But here comes Josh Thaxton just behind, and then there's Conover just behind him. So if Timmy Harper gets slowed up at all behind Geilis, this may set up a chance for Thaxton and Conover to put their wheel underneath Harper.
Well, Geilis right now, his goal is to stay as close to the leader. Oh man, a big moment there for Timmy. That's going to allow Thaxton to his outside and Conover to his back bumper. Looks like he tried to get under Geilis and got a little bit loose. But as I was going to say, Geilis, he's got to stay as close to the leader in case Reeder gets lapped here so that he's the lucky dog. So he's got every right to be not necessarily blocking, but just running his line.
Absolutely. You've got to keep in mind all that strategy. I mean, it is still very early for somebody like Geilis to be a lap down, and so if he's the first car a lap down, he's got to fight for that position, as you're absolutely correct. Josh Thaxton getting that position from Harper, now up into 3rd. So Thaxton on debut. I mean, we already saw Matt Tucker take the win in the Open on debut. Why not Josh Thaxton? So he's only got to make it about another 3.89 seconds, and he'll be right at the leader, Dustin Kleba. But he's still got to go through Vincent Arthur in order to make it there. And also, let's not forget about Josh Conover, who's sitting in 4th place. He's always a challenger, and certainly he'd like to get his hands on $100 as well.
Yeah, everybody in the field wants the $100, but I mean, I think the person who wants it most is Brady Moats, since he's the one providing it. He doesn't have to give out that 100 if he's able to win tonight.
That's a great point. That's the best kind of money. Free advertising if you get a chance to do that. But Kleba doing what he needs to do so far, 1.7 seconds in front, but now that gap's starting to come down, perhaps. Kleba's starting to struggle with those tires a little bit. It was over 1.7. Now it's come down to just about 1.6. You keep an eye on that gap. Now it's coming down into 1.5. So I don't know if it's Arthur going faster or if it's Kleba going a little bit slower. Their lap times all look pretty good, but a 1.5 second gap is the difference right now between Kleba and Arthur.
Well, I'm sure right now Arthur might have the broadcast open. He might have heard my wise talk there. Actually, I think he's running the outside. That's how he's doing it. That was an interesting line there. He might be running the outside lane.
Well, let's check this out. Now, that's a very inside lane there through the corner, at least through 3 and 4. Now, let's watch 1 and 2. What's he doing? Now, he's going very inside here as well. That's well below what we saw the trucks running last night. He may be...
Kleba in front of him is kind of having higher entry in the corner. Maybe he was trying that, but I don't know. That he was up near the wall. Maybe he just missed the corner. But as I was going to say, I said earlier you got to kind of let it roll the corner and brake early to save tires. So maybe he's doing that, whereas Kleba's driving in a little bit deeper.
Well, this is a good one so far. We're seeing a lot of these familiar faces at the front, and now it's Conover who's gotten by Thaxton for that 3rd spot. As you can imagine, Conover has done this time and time again. Here's a shot of Conover getting by Thaxton just a moment ago. And
that's teammates racing with respect there. I believe the 42 is for Flatline, if I'm not mistaken. Or is at least aligned with them with JRC. So that's just, let them go. Don't race them. It's too early in the race at this point.
Absolutely, maybe a little bit too early. And, I think that's one of the good things that Josh has going for him. He's gotten a lot of these racers started here in the league. And he's made a lot of friends that way, but it's not like they give him the positions. It's not like there's any sort of favorites out here. He has to race for every single one of these positions. Just maybe doesn't get the wheel put to him, doesn't get the door handle put to him quite as often as he might if he hadn't helped them out to get their start here in the NORA League. Vincent Arthur, though, running strong here in 2nd place. Conover in 3rd, Thaxton in 4th. And then just behind Timmy Harper, he was up there in the top 3, but now he's fallen back into 5th. Brady Moats, of course, 98 exteriors there on the hood, and unfortunately even though he's gained 5 spots from where he started, he's still sitting back there in 6th place, and he's quite a ways out. It's coming up on almost 10 seconds up to the leaders, so he's got to get a move on, especially if this is going to stay green for the long run. Matt Tucker in the JRC Sim team there in 7th place. Had a great open race. He's up 3 positions from where he started, but he's just following Brady Moats around, and right now just kind of hanging out back there in 7th, waiting for perhaps a caution, waiting for some new tires to get something else going here. Ronnie Norman for the Ronnie Norman fan club over in YouTube. Well, he's running in 8th place. It's not quite challenging for the lead, but he should be up there before too long in terms of the top 5, because you can never count Ronnie Norman out of the top 5. Heck, he may inherit the win. You never know. It's been known to happen. Matthew George for Flatline Motorsports, Ronnie's teammate, running a solid race in 9th, but once again, we don't expect him to join that top 5 until too long. And here was the fan vote. Transfer driver in 10th place, Cody Height, running for Harper Motorsports. He's up 2 positions in his Ford, but that's about as far as he's going to be able to climb. I mean, he's got some really difficult cars in front of him, so unless he can turn up the wick a little bit, it is going to be a tough road to hoe there for Cody Height on YouTube. Dustin Kleba, though, out of Iowa City, Iowa. KPR Motorsports machine, absolutely smooth sailing at the front. 47 laps into this one, and is really rapidly coming up on halfway here. That gap, though, has dropped just a little bit, Christian. I mean, again, this is only 0.3 of a second from where it was, but that's a little bit of that comfort margin that Kleba had built up for quite a while.
Yeah, Vincent, he's running that top lane in 1 and 2, so he's been just slowly gaining there. You know, like I said, the straighter you can get off the corner and gas it, the better the line. So he's getting great exit, whereas Kleba's getting him on entry. And these two, you know, obviously had an incident last week, so they're kind of not happy with each other. So I'm going to be curious to see if Vincent can catch him and then put the bumper to him.
Well, we await to find out the answer to that. It's fun watching these drivers alter their lines, and I think if I'm watching carefully enough, I think that's more or less what Arthur's doing. He has an idea of the line, the ideal line that he wants to run with this car, but he's also feeling out the tires and feeling out how he needs to rebalance this car per lap, per corner, what he wants to do slightly different. Now you see, watch him take that really extreme high line there on entry and the straighter line on exit. Sometimes he's coming in and doing a very narrow entry, as you can see here, through 3 and 4, and a very narrow exit.
I tell you what, I want to ask him what the what pinion he's running, because he's not turning it 90 degrees, and I was turning it like past 90 degrees. So that little orange stripe there was almost toward the door for me. So I got to ask him what he's running. Maybe I can get in next year instead.
Oh, and a little bit of a scrape of the wall there on entry, but as you said, that does make a big difference. I know running the ratio a little bit higher gives you a little bit, well, I guess I can't remember if it's higher gives you a faster response or a slower response, but one way or the other. And some drivers do like it to be where you just put in a little bit of input and it makes a big steering difference. Other drivers like it where you have to put in quite a bit of steering input. And in fact, that's usually one of the things that they recommend, is that you adjust that ratio so that the pinion, so that basically you have to put in a lot of input to make a small change on the track. It really helps you to make those finite changes in your steering.
Yeah, and another thing I'm not sure of, maybe Vincent or Nick told you in the open, I don't know what the fuel mileage is. So, you know, 120 laps typically is, you know, fuel range for these guys, because it's 60% fuel, I believe. So it should be interesting to see if maybe these guys need green flag stops.
We'll have to look and see. Did they specify tonight that there is one stop that's necessary?
No, they didn't say that there's like a needed stop, but I think you're going to need it based on the fact that there might not be enough fuel. But people like Christopher Heights in chat can let me know, because he was running, I believe, the Open he was in. I'm not 100% sure. I think he wrecked in the Open. But he could let me know, or anyone else in chat, if they were in the Open, they can let me know if they paid attention to the gas.
So Heights checking in and saying that's right now, because they took the EOL, but lower, more input, higher, less input. And so that's a good, I mean, it makes sense, the ratio, how much you put in versus how much steering input actually changes the steering. So that makes sense. We appreciate you checking in, Christopher Heights, and letting us know. And there's a yellow flag. So there are no stages here, so I don't see who that is for. Is it Cody Height? Is it Nick
That
Ivan?
might be the halfway caution. They did it in real life, so maybe they're doing it here. I didn't see anywhere mentioning the halfway caution, so I'm not sure. I mean, Josh likes to, you know, play games with us and not let us know at least one rule throughout the week.
Right? Something changed. Well, up to the front goes Josh Thaxton, who says, I'll take that track position. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, no bonus points open for him to be able to take here tonight by doing so. Kleba, Harper, Arthur, Norman, Conover, Tucker, Brady Moats, Matthew George, and everyone else except for Nick Geilis all coming into the pits here.
You know what? They might only have one set of tires, so what Thaxton is hoping, or has he's coming to a stop here, not sure what's going on here. I thought maybe they only had one set of tires and he was trying to wait until later in the race to put his on, but he is coming down now.
That actually might have been an amazing strategy call to go with. You're absolutely right. That could have been a very fascinating one. But if we do take a look here,
there might be two sets.
We take a look over into our rules. We can probably find that out.
Yeah, I'm also checking as well. Bear with us in chat. Bear with us.
I don't see it in the official, in those rules that were posted, but perhaps you can do a little bit more digging there. Christian Snyder, you're our great researcher here as part of the team. We appreciate all the hard work that you do in making this a better broadcast each and every week. And also, so great to have you with us here at VirtualRacing.Network. Of course, a little recap. I'm Trevor Greenfield. And this is Christian Snyder's. Christian was racing in the Open. He didn't quite qualify to get into the feature race here tonight, but we did have, of course, Matt Tucker and Brady Moats able to transfer from that Open race, and Cody Height, as he's known, Cody Height on YouTube, able to get in on the fan vote. So all of you fans who voted, that is who got in. Congratulations to Cody. Cody running right now in that 10th spot, I believe. But it's been an interesting race thus far. Dustin Kleba has been practically untouchable out here. Vincent Arthur going to be just really happy to get another chance here with fresh tires, because he was holding pace with Kleba on the long run, but on the short run, he found it very difficult to hold pace. Tim Harper now part of this conversation. Josh Conover, and Harper gets sideways. Oh my goodness. Man. Multiple cars involved. Matthew George involved in that. The number 15
Ronnie
of
Norman.
Brady Moats, Ronnie Norman, and I think it all started from Timmy Harper. Let's go back and see exactly what happened here on this green flag. And
I think I can tell you what happens. I think he gets on the throttle way too hard here in the restart zone and loops it around. That was kind of something I was worried about. You know, I had auto clutch on, so it was kind of revving the engine a little too high, and yeah, that's what happens. He spins the tires and then collects five other cars.
A multi-car pileup here, and the fans are left speechless at the start-finish line. That was just something else to watch. We'll see it one more time here. This was coming to the green flag, and certainly Barney the Flagman had an eyeful of this one as they were wrecking going across the line. And immediately Barney pulls out the yellow flag. So unfortunate stuff there, and either way, it's been...
I do want to update real quick. It was the stage caution. It wasn't a stage, it was just a competition caution. And also these guys have two sets of tires, so they do still have one set in the pits to put on late in this race.
So that will become a factor. Do you come in? Certainly you wouldn't come in during a green flag run if you don't feel like you have to. Certainly with this yellow flag to slow things down and allow these tires to cool down. Probably not going to see anybody coming in during a green flag, but if we do have a strategically placed yellow flag, we will see all of these drivers come in once again, I imagine, to take on fresh tires. I think maybe the call is going to be, if it's within, say, the last 20 laps or the last 15 laps, who's going to come in and take those tires and who's going to stay out. So we'll have to watch and see, but it's right now Kleba and I think Conover took the choose cone. That puts him up into second. Vincent Arthur in third place. Thaxton in 4th place, and Cody Height in 5th. So Cody Height rebounding very well after that yellow flag and getting right up there. And so Cody Height and Matt Tucker now vying for that 5th place. And this should be pretty exciting as we get this one rolling again. Kleba and Conover now challenging for this race win and $100. Here comes
Kleba with a great start, and Vincent Arthur underneath Josh Conover now going to take that position, but Josh is going to cut down in front of Thaxton here. This is the time in the race that bumpers are going to be used. You know, there's 50 to go. These guys, they need to win to get the 100. Can't finish. Oh,
Arthur sideways and now up into the wall.
I don't think that's enough contact to ruin his race, but, I mean, he's going to need new tires here.
And not only that, but he'll have to work his way entirely back through the field. Oh, me, oh, my. This has been uncharacteristic. First, we see Timmy Harper having a problem, and now Vincent Arthur having this problem. Did they just spin up these tires a little bit too much here? I think maybe we need to move ahead just a little bit more.
The next lap, he just gets a little bit loose there out of 2. And then I was talking to my guys, Christopher Thomas and David Chandler. Both of them said whenever you get loose in this car, it is so hard to save. So especially at this track, too, due to the going downhill in 1 and 2. So it's really hard to save these cars once they step out. And the reason I think it stepped out from them, these guys are pushing harder than they have all season. You know, it doesn't matter if you finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th. The win is the only thing that matters, so they are stepping on the gas more than they would normally.
Well, we're seeing Nick Geilis in, Tim Harper is in, Brady Moats is in, and I think officially parked now is Matthew George. So we didn't see, I guess it was that contact from the earlier incident that caused him to come in, and perhaps the other 3 still taking on a little bit of damage repair. Arthur going to come in, though. Is he going to take those final tires, I wonder?
You have to. I mean, he slid the entire front stretch and flat spotted his tires. So he's definitely going to need 4 freshies to do something here tonight if he's got any chance left. We have seen this man win in a damaged car before, so anything's possible.
Well, Vincent Arthur can do just about anything. It was surprising to see him act like a mere mortal there and spin up those tires. The first time we've really seen a mistake, really, out of Arthur. And like you said, each one of these drivers pushing hard. It's a matter of pride here tonight. There's no points at stake, but there is a bunch of money at stake, and I think everybody wants to win Brady Moats money. So we'll watch on to find out who is going to take that here tonight. But it's been a lot of fun so far to watch these drivers out there competing at a high level. So $100 to win thanks to 98 Exteriors. And these drivers got to make it like, another 80 laps or so. No, I'm sorry, another, what are 50, we at now? So 50 laps or so in order to be able to take that. So Kleba, Conover, Thaxton, your top 3. Matt Tucker in 4th and Cody Reeder in 5th place as we're going to get ready to go here this next time by.
Yeah, I tell you what, that $100, that's a real good night out at Applebee's for these guys with their girlfriends, wives. So, maybe not, a fancy restaurant, but fancy like Applebee's.
Yeah, absolutely. Applebee's, and it'd go a long ways if you look at Thaxton there. You got Wendy's on the hood.
Yeah.
You buy
that's a couple burgers.
Buy yourself a lot of Dave Singles with that kind of money. Here we go, Dustin Kleba leading us back to the green flag. Josh Conover, awesome start on that outside. And he's going to challenge. He is going to challenge off of that restart on that high line. Is Conover going to be able to take that position?
He's got to get down in front of him right here off this corner. He's got to try something here.
Well, Kleba trying to keep him honest. They do come together.
Kleba's around.
Kleba around. And fortunately, no other cars involved. Caution is out. Conover I mean, he was running
my.
Kleba very hard there off of that restart. We're finally getting to see some good old short track racing here at North Wilkesboro.
Short track racing and short track tempers. I tell you what, Kleba is mad.
You can imagine why. Here, we'll take a look at it from the chopper, and you tell me, Christian.
I mean, Josh is just running him tight. I don't know if he came down into Kleba or if that was just kind of a racing incident. They were both going for the same spot there. Josh needed to do this. He had to come down and pinch Kleba. We'll see it in slow motion here. You can see Conover coming down, crosses the white line into Kleba, but at the same time, Kleba's going up the track, so I'm not sure.
Not sure, and of course, others will make the call as far as how that looks administratively, but it didn't look too close to me as far as Conover went there on that restart and holding Kleba down onto the bottom lane. But either way, Conover now at the back of the pack. So
he was at fault.
So administration ruling he's at fault. He's taken the EOL, and what's he doing now? He's pitting.
He's getting 4 fresh tires, and this is the last time he's pitting.
So
he figures he's already at the back, get 4 freshies, push through the field, and if a late caution comes out, just stay out and hold on to her.
So perhaps he makes a mistake, perhaps turns it into gold by coming in and taking those tires. I mean, it was
I don't
really
see any
close.
tires going on.
I don't know. Maybe a stop and hold. I'm not sure.
Oh no, he's going.
He drives
I never
away.
saw the tires go up.
He didn't go
Maybe
up
damage?
on jacks.
Might have been damage repair.
That may have been it. You know how sensitive these cars can be, and it's just weird. I mean, sometimes you have a little tap and it's all of a sudden the steering's bent, and yet other times you go slam this car into the wall and nothing goes wrong with it. It doesn't even lose any speed. So
Right.
Never can tell, but hey, look who's up there in the front.
I was about to say it. The guy who finished top 2 in the Open is leading the All-Star race.
This is something else to watch here. And so now that means that both Matt Tucker and Josh Thaxton, 2 drivers that we've never seen here on VirtualRacing.Network in the NORA Cup Series, are now leading 1 and 2. And look at who's in third place, Cody Height as well, the fan vote. So for you fans who voted him in, here he is holding up your honor, and you got to give him a shout over on Cody Height on YouTube. Big call for him. Timmy Harper.
Oh, Harper's rubbing his bumper under caution here, showing I'm a push.
Well, Harper back in position now to possibly challenge for this $100.
He's having fun right now. These guys are having a blast. Here we go. In the restart zone. Matt Tucker in control.
Green flag.
He's launching. That was a great jump there. Green flag. Thaxton, he's going to clear Thaxton easily here.
Well, we go side by side between Thaxton and Height. Height too slow off of the corner. Looks like Cody Reeder wanted in on that action, and he got a little bit sandwiched there. Now he has to step back just a little bit. There's Height on the outside. And Reeder throws it in and gets it sideways, and it pinches into Cody Height. Takes
going to end
them
Height's
out.
night.
And I think Guylis gets caught out in that one as well. Oh my goodness.
I think he braked for it and slowed down to a stop. He didn't want to be involved so that he gets the lucky dog, but Height has a toe knocked out in the rear end after that one, I'm sure. Man, he just overdrove the corner and lost it, wheel hopped. You know, I was having a little bit of issues with that in my Open race. I was wheel hopping into the corner. But then again, I was running 35 brake bias, so that's probably why. But you can see here, he just goes down, gets loose and tags Cody Height. Oh, and Kleba gets a piece there too.
He did get a little bit into Kleba, and you have to wonder how much he got into Kleba. Poor old Cody Height was right up there in contention, and due to no fault of his own, ends up getting taken out. Let's take a look here from Kleba's point of view and see exactly what he saw as
he's
he
already
encountered
wheel
this one.
hopping. Reeder was already wheel hopping right when you switched over to him, but you know, Kleba gets a little tiny tap on the right side, so I don't think that's much of a big deal.
Now we'll take a look from onboard Kleba. Here's how it all went down.
Just ever so slightly. I don't think that's going to affect them. Reader, though, if you go on board with him, you're going to hear the engine kind of rev up whenever he gets on the brakes. He gets loose.
See if we can check in here with Cody Reader.
Man.
No matter how you played, it isn't pretty.
He was going for it, I'll tell you that.
He was going for it, but just overcooked it coming into the corner. I can't remember who it was, but we saw that very recently. I want to say it could have been Reader himself, but another driver in a previous race, same thing, just threw it in too heavy. Was that Conover? Wasn't that long ago. Somebody really chucked it in and just lost it there in the pits, or lost it there.
Some people in the pits.
So in the pits, we do have Cody Reader, and now Nick Gillis, Brady Moats, Cody Height taking on service. Moats now coming down off of the jacks on the right side, now up on the jacks on the left side, and I think Cody Height has some damage repair to do. Unfortunate for that number 22 machine that was running so strong.
Sorry if I'm being more excitable than I normally am. I mean, this is for $100. This is where, you know, it's amazing race, and I love it. I love that Brady put on $100, because I was talking to Josh and I was like, if you don't have money for the All-Star race, no one's going to run it. So with them running for money now everything, you know, everything's out the window. No friends, no teammates, just win.
So checking in here in YouTube, Heights did say that it was a stage competition caution. We appreciate that. Thaxton should pit for fuel coming from the Drift King. Gladilich, we do appreciate you checking in. And also Gladilich saying the car didn't go up. Vincent probably just checking the tires and seeing where they're at. That's a good call. You're right. He didn't have anything to lose, just probably coming in and looking at those numbers and saying, do I want to take tires or not? If they had been abnormally worn, yeah, let's take some new tires. He could have switched on that button and instantly they would have started replacing those tires, but as a result, he must have been happy with it. He's going to save those fresh ones here for the end. Drift King giving that drift a 6 out of 10. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It wasn't exactly the prettiest drift we've ever seen, but I don't think that's what he was going for out there. It was an inadvertent drift, but some comedy gold there from Gladilich, and Matt Tucker leads us back to the green flag here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, we are coming up on 20 to go. Now is the time to go. It is no saving tires. These guys are going to push it for everything it's got. Dustin Kleba on the outside of Vincent Arthur trying to gain a position from him. We see Josh Thaxton running the bottom with Matt Tucker running the top. Not sure which lane's going to prevail here. Thaxton throws it in.
He gets loose, runs up the track, sideways. And look who's back in second place. Vincent Arthur back in it after having an incident earlier. Now he is ready to go. He's got locked and loaded for that 77 machine of Matt Tucker up in front.
And looking behind. Oh, Conover!
It's Conover who slides sideways.
He saved it. Mowing the grass. Oh no. Oh man. He's giving Holly Farms a workout in that corner, the Holly Farms sign. he's doing some mowing for them.
Well, we stay green here, and that's the worst possible news for Conover. And he's going to have to really gather himself up after that one. But in the front, we've got Vincent Arthur. He's going to try to take a look at that number 77 for Matt Tucker.
Oh, he got real tight there.
After the type of night that Arthur has had, it would be a miracle if he can somehow get up there and take this victory here tonight. But Tucker looking to go 2 for 2 here in the All-Star race. He took the open, and now we've got Ronnie Norman up in the wall.
Oh, man. He's been having a rough night, and it's getting rougher now.
We'll step back and take a look here at what happened to Ronnie.
Oh, he got turned.
He got turned hard by Nick Gillis.
That was dirty.
I'm sure that, you know, knowing Nick Gillis, series admin, he did not and the professor of punishment. I'm sure he did not do that intentionally, but if we take a look here. Oh, you're going to say that maybe it was?
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything, but he kept in the gas. I don't know. I'm not an admin, but, I got my point of view. I'll keep it to myself, though.
Well, either way.
There are people paid more to do that job.
Right. So we've got a bunch of drivers in the pits now. Guyless, Tucker, Vincent Arthur, Thaxton, Timmy Harper, Josh Conover, all in the pits receiving service. Harper heads out there. I think Matt Tucker, the first one to get back out. So good pit stop from him. And Vincent Arthur also taking on what I believe is the final. Yeah, he did 14 seconds in the box. So he took on tires there on that pit stop. So that'll be it for tires. No more tires to go as we're coming up to 20 to go here in the All-Star race for the NORA Cup Series at North Wilkesboro. Abby's Sweet Treats Home Bakery, the presenting sponsor, and 98 Exteriors presenting the $100 to win pot. I don't think, I don't think the other $100 is in play anymore, but certainly Dustin Kleba back in the lead. Brady Moats in second place. Cody Height in third. Hey, it's Cody is back in third. How did that happen?
Maybe 2-tire stop, maybe 4.
He didn't. He actually didn't come in on this. They didn't come in on this round of pit stops. Matt Tucker, the first one in line there in 6th place to have come in. Everybody behind him came in on this caution to take tires. So,
oh boy, then we ain't done with cautions.
Not at all. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. In the meantime, it is 20 to go. Of course, so great to have this 20 to go segment sponsored by Snyder Graphics. See it right there, facebook.com Snyder Graphics. That's the place to go to get your custom wraps made. A lot of these cars in the field actually prepared by Snyder Graphics. If you need a custom wrap for your Next Gen Cup car or your truck or any other NASCAR, he's the right guy to see over at Snyder Graphics. Christian Snyder, awesome to have you here in the booth, and great to know that you're a great artist as well.
Yeah, the only scheme I have right now is Ronnie Norman he's back in 6th. The green flag is out. Kleba, he gets a great start. He's on old tires though. We got to see who's going to be there with fresh tires. 77. Tucker already hooked 4th.
Well, Reeder had a terrible start. Reeder had just an absolutely abysmal start, and he got hit from behind. He stuffed up part of the field. But Kleba now marching out to an early 5 or 6 car length lead, and then they're racing side by side behind. Brady Moats and Cody Height racing it out here for second, and it's side by side just behind them. Josh Conover and Matt Tucker racing it out. There you can see them.
Oh, Tucker hard in the wall.
Tucker into the wall, but it looks like Moats goes ahead, and we've got Height into the back end of Moats as well. So these drivers racing hard for this second spot. There goes Height into the back of Moats several times. Oh my goodness.
Brady's not going to like that. He said if anyone bumps me, they're not getting by.
Well, Height is certainly making his presence known at the back end of Brady Moats' machine.
These two are kind of not teammates, but they run the same, manufacturer. But like I said, that's out the window right now. These guys, no friends. We got Conover backwards in the wall. Oh man,
Josh Conover backwards. He corrects himself and he'll bring it back again. Oh my goodness, another yellow is gonna spice things up even more here, as these restarts have been so important thus far. Now let's take a look at what happened here to Conover. And he just does it all by himself.
Oh, he hits driver door first on that concrete wall. If it was real life, he may go to the hospital. Thank goodness this is virtual.
Virtual enough. You still got to get your hands off that steering wheel and certainly your heart in your throat. But We got Conover in. We've got Cody Reeder making a pit stop here. And Matt Tucker also taking a pit stop. So I don't know. We'll watch and see if they take tires. But I imagine that'd be the only reason why you would come in, and besides damage repair. So Reeder, left
Reeder
sides and right
tires.
sides. Yep. And then we'll take a look over here at Matt Tucker. He doesn't look like he's putting on any tires at all, so perhaps just trying to get some damage repaired. Same thing up there with Josh Conover.
Yeah, that back bumper of Matt Tucker looks really bent in. So someone's been into the back of him, but he's going to, I think, go a lap down here. I don't think he got going in time here. We'll have to see.
No, I don't believe...
Oh, he did get going.
Oh. Just getting going, so good for him. Recognize, I mean, he stayed in there to the last possible second, and I know what that's like to have to get that damage repaired. Sometimes it says that optional is going to complete within like 1 or 2 seconds, and you're like,
Never
okay. No. But
I tell you what, you got to watch the choose roll here. If Brady takes the inside with Kleba, I think Kleba's going to the fence on this restart. So, I mean, it's that time you got to push the guy in front of you to pass. So we're going to have to check the choose roll the next lap and see what lane Moats picks. If he picks that bottom, Kleba's got to protect the bottom at all costs going into turn 1.
Christopher Heights checking in, says 22 wants that money. You bet he does. 22 hanging on strong there in third place. Cody Height on YouTube. It would be something else to see him win, but certainly every one of these drivers has incentive. You know, Brady Moats doesn't want to give that money up. Dustin Kleba wants to continue his winning ways here in the NORA Cup Series. Cody Height, hey, he's got something to show on his stream, and he's always looking to come up here in the NORA Cup Series and has something to prove. And Vincent Arthur, he's just salivating over that money. You know it. Each one of these drivers could certainly use the money, but it's more than that here in the NORA Cup Series. This is a difficult to get into event. It would be awesome just on pride alone to take victory and be able to say, hey, I won the All-Star event. I mean, it doesn't get much more prideful than saying you won the All-Star event.
And another thing, Norman and Gillis are bumper to bumper on this resource. We might want to check that out at some point. But here we go, the restart zone. Kleba taking off. Brady with a decent start, not as good. He's going to have to block Cody Height here. He does. Height giving him the bumper throughout the corner. Vincent Arthur trying the outside here out of 2. He's going to get a 2 for 1 here.
2 for 1, and Moats goes sliding up the track into Arthur. They managed. They almost saved
That's
it.
going to end Vincent's chances, but
they're
still wrecking.
And they're still wrecking. Moats all over the place, knocking into various vehicles out there, and still sliding back to the field. You know who's laughing about all of this? It's Dustin Kleba up in front. There comes.
Oh, he turned him.
Cody Reeder.
He turned him.
He turned him, and Josh Conover now getting hit by Brady Moats, who's spinning backwards.
Oh, man, this is awesome. Oh, I hope our viewers are enjoying this. These guys, there are no rules tonight. It is drivers have at it. So this is awesome.
Well, it is something else to behold. Kind of the gloves have come off, and we've seen a lot of these drivers taking a little bit of aggressive action that we didn't expect. Josh Thaxton, though, currently now shown in that second place. Timmy Harper in third, and somehow Nick Gillis has made it up into fourth.
Yeah, that Disney 100 scheme, he wants to put that in victory lane. He was bragging about that paint scheme. It is a beautiful car. Be awesome to see it in victory lane as Reeder brings it back down pit road. He already took 4 tires, so I'm not sure what this is for here. But
I don't know. He pits out of 5th place, so that's I couldn't tell you.
Did he have an extra set? Did he bribe someone maybe to get an extra set?
I don't know. I'm not seeing him going up on jacks, so couldn't tell you what that's caused by, but either way, focus at the front. Barty the flagman gave him 5 to go this time by. See the wave around there from Matthew George. And I think
You know,
Vincent Arthur still parked on pit road. That's going to do it for him. Boy, he's got to be really fuming. Nope, he's going to try to drive it back out there. Will he be on the lead lap? I think he still stays on that lead lap. So with 4 laps to go, is there any chance for him to be able to storm through this field? I can't imagine, but I've seen some pretty aggressive stuff here tonight. Maybe it's possible. Dustin Kleba, though, going to be really hard to beat from this lead position. I mean, Thaxton, I don't see. I mean, he's got nothing to lose here. He could try to chuck it in on Kleba, but Harper.
The strategy should be take the inside line and push Kleba through turn 1. That's pretty much the only way you're going to get past him is rough him up.
Well, we'll find out how that works out. Kleba seems pretty unshakable. But then you've got Timmy Harper there sitting in 3rd place, and if there's one aggressive driver in this field who isn't afraid to leave a little bit of paint on someone else's car, it's Timmy Harper, and we'll see whether or not he keeps it clean here at the end or whether he goes for the more aggressive approach.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, these guys have unlimited green-white checkers, so this is going to be the first of the unlimited green-white checkered. So I don't think this is going to be the only one, though. I think there's going to be a caution in turn 1 on the first lap on the restart.
So here we go. Next time by, if they can keep it clean, we will see green, white, checkered. If
that is a big if.
It hasn't been clean so far. There's been plenty of cautions to slow this one down and make everybody think about it. I do wonder if it is possible for us to get out of this one with less than 1 or 2 cautions, but we'll find out here. Dustin Kleba going to be at the point. Now, that was a heck of a restart we saw Josh Conover get before. Can Thaxton possibly hang on? Not quite as good, but he's still there with Kleba. And they're racing side by side behind for that 2nd place. Thaxton and Harper. Harper just ahead on the inside line. And if we can stay green to the line, this is going to clinch it. Oh, we've got one around in the back. And it is a caution
right before the line.
I believe it's Brady Moats bringing out that caution.
Stack them back up. Re-rack them.
Re-rack them again here in North Wilkesboro. It's getting a little sloppy, but I'll tell you what, Timmy Harper was in front when they came to that start-finish line, so that's going to put him in 2nd place on this restart, and now maybe Timmy will be able to hold up there with Dustin a little bit better.
He ain't afraid to move somebody. We know that. He got into it with Brian Jones in the Truck Series, so he is not afraid to put the bumper to somebody. You know, if this was a points race for the championship, you know, I would say yes, this is sloppy racing, this is unprofessional, but this is for $100 and nothing else. So I love that it's getting sloppy. It's you know, I like it. I don't know.
This is good old short track racing. I mean, when you get down at the local short track, you know, these may be next gen cars that cost upwards of $1 million a piece. But
yeah.
You know, when you start talking about $20,000-$30,000 cars, a lot more of the aggression comes out and a little bit of the red mist. And this is what we're used to seeing at a short track, just like the good old days of NASCAR racing when it didn't cost quite so much. But nowadays, we see a lot more professional behavior. Of course, a lot of family sponsors involved. Back in the day, you used to just hop out of your car. If you didn't get in a fight, you just went over and smoked a cigarette and talked to them. And, you know, I don't know. Nowadays, it's a bit of a different ball game. But Timmy Harper, not afraid to do what he needs to do to get this win. I'm sure he'd love $100 in his bank account. Josh Thaxton.
Ronnie Norman back up here. Holy
Are you
cow.
kidding me? Ronnie Norman somehow makes his way back up there? Insane.
That's impressive.
Well, he's got a knack for it. Again, I mean, Norman can do just about anything anyone else can in terms of moving cars. So if he needs to do what he's got to do to get up there to the front,
I don't know. He's one of the nicest guys. I don't see him moving somebody. He's too nice to do it. I don't know. Oh, Harper choosing the outside.
Timmy
I'm
Harper.
kind of surprised by that.
Well, it gives him a chance to. I mean, rather than get stuck on the inside in third. I mean, I think I understand. He's going to take that chance, and like we saw Josh Conover basically pull it off, and you don't have to pull off the pass. You just got to stay on the outside and just be ahead at the start-finish line. So let's see if it works out for Harper. Thaxton going to be starting on the inside, and then in the second row on the outside will be Nick Geilis and Ronnie Norman on the inside. Is it going to be
Timmy sleeping?
Timmy asleep at the wheel there. And here comes Vincent Arthur sending it on the outside a little bit further back. He's just going to try to take as many positions as he can. That's not going to work. We got one around.
Yeah, that's a caution.
And it's
Vincent
Arthur.
That one, and it's a huge one.
A huge one, including Tucker involved in that. And I could just see it coming from a mile away as we were watching Vincent Arthur back here. Let's see what happened with Arthur as he was just trying to take as many positions as he could, come into this green flag. He just said, I'm going to go to the high line and try and hold it on the outside. He sent it hard in there, Christian.
4 wide, can anyone say? Oh, man. Yeah, that's a lot of cars ruined right there.
I mean, it almost worked.
It almost did, yeah. I think Reeder kind of poked his nose 4 wide on the 77, and that's kind of what moved him up.
Well, let's take a look from Cody Reeder's point of view at how this all looked. This was unexpected on the outside, and then...
Oh, yeah. He just stuck it right in the middle there of Vincent and Matt Tucker, and it just kind of got all 3 of them mixed up together, and then Cody Height got collected. I believe... I'm not sure who else got collected, but it was 5 cars going into turn 3 here. Look at the ride for Cody Height here. I don't think he hit anything. I think he's good to go.
He may be actually good to go after that one.
Well, what do you think? Do we get another green-white checkered here?
Sure, why not? We get as many as we need, I guess, until these guys stop crashing. So this is, putting up $100. I don't know. Are we ever going to see a finish on this one? I think eventually.
Whenever there's one car left.
Maybe. We're just going to keep wrecking until nobody can stay out there.
If you cause 2 cautions, though, you do get parked. So at some point, these guys are going to start getting parked.
Survivor North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Happening right now.
Look at this. Timmy's bumping him, getting in his head.
Well,
this is all mind games right now.
We've seen it all tonight. Here come the mind games from the rest of the field. Timmy Harper looking to play a little bit of hardball with Dustin Kleba. And, we're going to re-rack them almost exactly the same order, too. But look who's in 6th place. Josh Conover. Now, he knows how to send it. So, I mean, I don't know who to tell you who's going to win this one. It's going to be too hard, I think, unless Kleba, gets turned or has some sort of personally makes a mistake. I really think it's going to be too difficult. Now, if you see Josh Thaxton now going to go on the outside line, if Josh could somehow keep up on this restart, he could keep it 2 wide going through 1 and 2, and that might give others a chance as well. But
I don't know. Timmy might take 2 for 1 here and send Kleba into Thaxton. That's what I would do if I was in that spot. So let's see what happens here as we get to the restart zone.
Well, I'm going to be the one to ask it. Josh Thaxton, where's the beef? Is he going to send it?
Here we go.
Into turn 1 we go, and Dustin a little slow there. That's allowing Josh Thaxton to maybe think about it. He runs up on the back of him. Timmy Harper now to the inside. He runs into the back of Kleba. Harper moves him and turns him. And the yellow flag is out. They're still wrecking in the back of this one, and Kleba goes from first to last. He's not going to be happy with that one. We still got Matthew
George in it, Nick Geilis in it. Yeah, I think Timmy might get parked for that one, or at least an EOL, because that was... He tried moving them, but he turned them instead, so I think that's going to park Harper.
They're throwing the checkered flag on this one.
Oh, so there was only 3. So Harper, is he going to win it, or is he going to get disqualified for wrecking? This is either Reeder or Harper's race here.
There's Conover going up there and challenging
he's
right
saying
now.
hi to Ronnie. I think he's saying more than hi. He turned him. Oh boy, those are teammates, man.
Well, we wait to find out what's going to happen with Timmy Harper here. We'll go back and rewatch this one from the yellow flag onwards. This was.
Yeah, we got to break this down here.
I mean, let's watch from the green flag, and you can tell me what you think of this maneuver here from Timmy Harper. This is just as they come back to green, and
yeah, I think the first bump was clean. That was cool, but the second one just turned them around. So I don't know how they're gonna roll this, but you can see. You said Kleba not that fast coming off of turn 2, and it allowed this to happen. He gets into him once here, moves him up, tries getting underneath him, and turns him. So I don't think that's intentional. He tried getting underneath him, and Kleba got hooked.
And they all wreck coming across the line.
Yeah, Ronnie turns Harper at the line, and Reeder tried getting the win off of Harper, but man, that's crazy.
Is there another angle we could watch it from that would clarify it?
Maybe the drone cam? Might? I don't know.
Let's see if we take a look at the chopper, maybe from overhead.
Yeah, chopper cam would be great here.
This will give us a clearer view from overhead, and we can try and see.
I don't think that was intentional.
I think
after watching that.
What you're saying, I see it as well. Kleba was just slow to get off the corner. But take a look at that closing rate, and is Tim going to make that corner if Kleba isn't slow?
Oh yeah, he'd make that one right here. He's fine, but then he kind of punts him there, but he was running his line. He didn't intentionally do it, but then I think Norman just won this. He was second at the line. There's no way he does it 2 weeks in a row.
Well, the official scoring, or the unofficial scoring, according to our software, says Cody Reeder in second place.
I don't know. Wasn't
if
able to keep up the speed.
I don't know if you're seeing it a little bit different. Let's back it up and take a look here as they cross. We get the white flag in hand.
Well, at the time of caution, Ronnie is second. Right there. Caution comes out, Ronnie is second. Reeder's nowhere near here.
And you're absolutely
this is what
right.
happens here.
And
yeah,
even
Ronnie
coming
gets
across
loose.
the line, Ronnie is still looks like he was second. I mean, there's no way that Reeder was ahead of him. So perhaps just our software kind of glitching out a little bit. We'll hold off on showing those results. But it does appear from our vantage that Ronnie Norman, I mean, maybe did the caution come out a little bit before that? Let's take one more look at it.
It is official. I have the official finishing order. Cody Reeder is your winner tonight. Cody Height second, and Matt Tucker third. That is the top 3.
Are you kidding me? How is that even possible? So go through that one more time. The official running order was Cody Reeder, your winner?
Reeder is the winner, Height second, and Tucker third. But, man, if Ronnie wouldn't have gotten involved in the wreck, he would have won here. But he wasn't able to stay at pace. So Reeder is going to win. Cody Height second, Matt Tucker third.
So let's look at Ronnie Norman here. So if what you're telling me is the fact that, did he really actually even get into that wreck?
Oh, yeah, he was heavy in that wreck. He does get back up into the field, but because he was involved, they were telling him to let people by.
When does the caution come out at this point? Because we're seeing Kleba's sideways. At what point do you think the caution came out here?
Well, I don't think the caution is going to be the dictator of it. I think it's whoever gets back to the checkered.
They race back to the line?
Yeah, well, no, I think it's going to be because Ronnie right here, the caution's already out, but Ronnie gets loose, and he is deemed involved. And watch here, Reeder makes no contact, slides through the middle of it, no contact. He was able to win the race.
And Cody Height in second, same thing. He survives.
and so does Tucker here.
And Tucker
So
does
it was
as well.
survival.
So basically, by not ending up in the caution in any way, shape, or form, because that's the thing, I didn't see Ronnie Norman actually hitting Timmy Harper. He just kind of, it
He
looks
got
like,
loose, yeah.
yeah, he got loose. So we'll watch one more time from Ronnie Norman's point of view, because I don't believe that he actually touched Harper.
Yeah, he just gunned it too much right here and turned it left, got loose. If he wouldn't have done that, he would have won this race. He's going to be beating himself up.
Wow.
Oh, man. That's a crusher.
What an amazing finish here. 2 weeks in a row from the NORA Cup Series. Tonight, I can't believe that Dustin Kleba doesn't come home in victory circle, but what a race it was. Unbelievable stuff here, as it appears as though Cody Reeder takes victory at North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race. And
oh, an extra $100 for him as well because he went to the rear.
So he'll take the $200. Unbelievable stuff. And congratulations to Cody Reeder from KPR Motorsport, who manages to do the impossible and come all the way from the rear, survive, and somehow end up making it to victory circle here. Thanks to 98 Exteriors for providing that $100, and also to Christopher Heights for supplying the second $100 as part of that program. And so with that, we're going to take a quick breath here. We haven't stopped all race long, and
I need a drink, man.
Absolutely. And we'll be back to talk with the top finishers here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're welcoming you back here on VirtualRacing.Network. We've got a great interviews lined up here, so don't want to go anywhere. Let's talk with the number 33 car, Ronnie Norman, and number 24 car, Vincent Arthur. Guys, I'm still trying to figure this one out. But Vincent, I want to start with you. You were up there in the front through a lot of the race. You had a couple of problems, got into the wall a couple of times. Did you think that this was your race at one point to win? I mean, you were right there with Kleba at the front.
Oh, yeah, definitely there. Right after the halfway mark, I thought this was definitely going to be a race where I could have, snuck past and got a win. I really regret pitting there for the tires. Just got back in traffic, and obviously stuff with Brady happened, but it is what it is. It's an all-star race. I was out there having fun. Even after that, I mean, that broke the toe link, surprisingly, even though the first wreck didn't, so that doesn't make sense to me. But, I still had a lot of fun out there. I felt like on the long runs we were really, really good. I think Josh was the only car that was better than us, but besides that, I felt like we were the the second best car on the long run. But yeah, just unfortunate with all those yellows in the second half. But I still had fun. It was still a really good event to be a part of.
Now, we did see you try and send it on the top side there on the restart, just try to make up as many positions as possible. But of course, you're getting hooked there by Cody Reeder. It was a valiant effort though, and you gave it everything you had.
Oh yeah, I sent her in there. I mean, she was skewed out more than the freaking Gen 5 cars were. So, you know, I was trying to use that to my advantage and get all that I could. And man, I just barely got clipped. That would have been a really, really cool restart if I had made it through that, because I would have ended up being like 4th after that. So, yeah, unfortunate, but it is what it is. I did all I could with what I had, and you know, it's an all-star race, so you might as well just send it.
Absolutely. Well, it was a valiant effort there tonight. And Ronnie, you were right there. Talk us through that final restart and what you saw from your perspective. First of all, we were shocked because you were running like not up in the top 3 most of the night, and then there you were right up there in the top 4. So what did you see there at the very end with Tim Harper and Dustin Kleba, and then you know you almost took victory here?
Yeah, no, I just man, I don't know, that one hurts for sure. There when we were coming to the choose cone, I was like, I definitely don't want to go to the outside, because I figure if they wreck, everybody's going to go up the track. But the outside second row was open, so I was like, I got to take it. I'm not trying to go 4th on the inside row, 3rd, whichever one it was. So I took the outside, had the restart, had a good restart. Going into 3, I wanted to get down behind Timmy, because I knew Timmy was probably going to be aggressive, put the bumper to somebody. Well, if they did that, then I could slip underneath them and go around, which literally is what almost happened. And then when I seen Timmy go up to the wall, I guess I twitched the wheel left, and it just broke, because I'm in the throttle, I'm trying to stay in it. I mean, there's money on the line, everybody's wrecking, and unfortunately, just because I pitted it into the wall, that was deemed being involved in the caution. So super unfortunate. That would have been cool to win the All-Star race, but yeah, no, I'm starting to be that guy that's not anywhere up to the top 5, and then somehow I'm there at the end of the race. So as long as I'm there at the end of the race and making it fun and interesting, then I guess that's all I can count on.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I can step in here, if you didn't get into that inside wall, I thought you were the winner. That's a tough break, man. I was pulling for you.
Yeah, no, I literally did the same thing earlier in the race. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but I got loose, almost nosed it in, locked it up, and kept it straight. And I just wish I could have done it one more time. And unfortunately, I was a little bit too sideways. But yeah, no, it's just crazy knowing I was that close. Congrats to Reeder on the win, and whoever finished 2nd, 3rd. I think it was Height and Tucker. So yeah, no, I had fun. So
well, Vincent, Ronnie, awesome racing out there tonight. You gave it your all, and we'll certainly look forward to getting back to some regular old NORA Cup racing next week at Charlotte.
You got that one right.
Well, good luck to you
for the 600.
What's that?
I'm ready for the Coke 600. It should be a fun one.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to that, my friend, and both of you guys. Good luck next week. Vincent, back to chasing that championship, and same with yourself, Ronnie. Great drives from both of you guys. We'll expect tomorrow or next week. Thanks for joining us here tonight, though.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So that's Vincent Arthur and Ronnie Norman checking in with us, and that was just some awesome stuff. And Christian, we've got a lot of people sitting in our interview waiting room. Who are we going to bring in next?
That will be Matt Tucker. He finished 3rd. We're going to bring him up. Josh is just down there talking to those guys. So we'll bring Matt Tucker in. Do you want to get him, or do you want me to?
Why don't you catch up with Matt Tucker, and I'll take our 2nd place finisher.
Sure thing. I'll talk to Matt Tucker here. Hey, Matt, you finished 3rd. You won the All-Star Open, and then you come out here, finish 3rd in the All-Star race. Heck of a run for you. I believe this is your first appearance in NORA. To make it into the All-Star race and be in the fight for $100. How did your race go, man?
Yeah, thanks, man. Second race, I ran the Kansas race in that 25 car where you guys kept calling me Josh, but yeah, it was exciting. I mean, the Open. I mean, me and Brady had a good battle there for like the last 30 laps, and was able to get away from the 45 car, and me and him be able to advance. And then in the main, just trying to buy time, just log laps. We had that long green flag run where we got to the into 60 and felt fine about the car. And then second half of the race, where we had just everybody just going bonsai on everything, so ended up getting the lead there. And then I figured if I would have pitted in like 20 to go, I had that extra set waiting in the pits where I could try to make something happen, but ended up getting loose off 4 and smacking the inside wall, which kind of ruined the race. And then just got lucky in the end when everybody slipped on ice and came home third. So overall, just happy to be here, and not a bad showing in the All-Star race. So I'll take my 3rd place and move on to, I think next week I'm running the same car in the 600, so excited for that.
Man, you sure made it exciting. I mean, you restarted 11th on that last restart and were able to make it to 3rd, so amazing run. I mean, obviously the only position that matters was the win for money, but I mean, still a great performance, and you showed a lot of patience out here as well tonight.
Yeah, I just didn't want to make any enemies. I mean, there's really no reason to run somebody over for 6th, right, when we were in the middle part of the race. But when it come down to it, it looked like Tim was willing to take that chance. So that's what caused that whole incident at the end. And yeah, like you said, I was 11th and ended up getting 3rd just by the who knows. I mean, just everybody just seas parted. So, but anyway, I'll take it though. So we'll move on next week.
Anyone you want to shout out before we send you on your way here?
Just thanks to Ronnie Norman. He's the one that got me over here. So thanks to him for inviting me over, and thankful to be here.
All right, man. Again, congrats on 3rd, and good luck next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Trevor, I believe you caught up with our 2nd place, Cody Height.
Absolutely. Had what an amazing run here for Cody Height. This is just something else, and our official software showed you finishing in 6th. But I tell you what, Cody, you were up there in 3rd. You were given solid challenges. We thought maybe you were going to take this one 3rd, 2nd place, possibly just on merit. But so many green-white checkers, and then this calamity finish, and somehow you end up in 2nd place. Cody Height on YouTube, awesome finish. Way to steal 2nd place, my friend.
Yeah, I definitely stole it. I don't think I was up there on merit. I was slow in the first 60 laps of that race, and then there on that last green-white checkered, it was like Moses parted the Red Sea, and me and Cody went through. It was the Cody and Cody show.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch. You did have that 22 cooking at one point, and you were given quite a few challenges to those leaders. What was the track like tonight overall? I mean, certainly it all came down to these green-white checkers at the end, but were you chasing the tires all night tonight? Were you trying to move around on the track and find better grip? What was it like for you in that 22 Harper Motorsports machine?
It was just plowing like a dump truck all night. It didn't matter if it was new tires, old tires, or what. It was just tight, and I had to do everything I could to get it to turn.
And yet you managed to get it to eventually turn. Now talk us through this very end sequence and how you manage somehow to stay clean when everyone else is wrecking.
We came off the last corner there, and everybody in front of us just thunder-footed it. And it literally opened up like right down the middle, and I just drove straight through it. I had to turn to miss Nick, I think, but other than that, it was just straight down the middle, and it opened up, and I drove right through it.
I mean, because you ended up following Cody Reeder through, and I mean, we could just see all of these other cars in front of you getting involved in this incident. I mean, everybody sideways in front. Is this, looking at avoiding incidents in the league, something that you can do a lot of over on the official racing? Would you say experience and just avoiding incidents, does that come into play here? Was it just being heads up? What gave you the idea that, coming to the checkers there, you just wanted to avoid everybody as opposed to racing super hard?
Well, I mean, the pay window was open, so I knew everybody was going to be aggressive, and honestly, the car wasn't that good, so I wasn't like right up on the back of somebody, and I could kind of see everything that was happening and just kind of pick and choose my way through it, and just made it through clean somehow.
Anyway, Cody Height, awesome run here tonight. Anybody you want to give thanks to there at Harper Motorsports or otherwise?
Yeah, thanks to Timmy for letting me drive every week for him, even though I'm not the best sometimes. Thanks to my wife for letting me do this every Tuesday and hanging out with you guys.
Absolutely, and we certainly appreciate it. You're always fun to watch. The fan vote getting in, and you almost stole the victory too, but you managed to get up there into second, and good luck next week at Charlotte, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I was trying to pull the Casey Kane on him there.
Almost got it done. Next week in Charlotte, though, back to good old NORA Racing, and probably not as much of these calamities, but either way, you'll be back in business. And Cody Hyde over on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, everybody, after this race, head on over and check out his stream, Cody Hyde on YouTube. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, I think Christian has been able to catch up with our winner, and I can't even believe that we're saying he's the winner, but Cody Reeder is the winner, and he joins us here in Abby's Sweet Treats Home Bakery Victory Circle discussion.
I mean, in the craziest fashion of the season so far, Cody Reeder wins the All-Star race. Cody, you're $200 richer. Tell us how it feels.
Just how I do it, baby.
Oh man, that's woo. Tell us how you got through that, first of all, to finish the race here.
Well, I was terrible all night. My teammate dominated the race. Really just came down. Honestly, I thought I was lagging out. So I see Dessa get moved up, and then I see him get turned. I was like, hey, just gotta move it down here and miss this one. And then we come off the corner, and that was the final green-white checkered. So it's not like we were coming to the checkered flag. We were coming to the white, but the next flag ended it regardless. And so came off the corner, and it really just kept. It's like it started raining. I'd never seen anything like that before, and I thought, I legit thought for like 15 seconds that I was about to lag out of the race because I've never seen like synchronized spinning like that before. It was just really crazy. But then I realized that I legit just was the only one that made it through, and then Timmy kind of challenged for that spot, but I knew, I was like, I think I'm literally the only guy on the track that wasn't wrecked there. So, yeah, I didn't deserve this by any means. Kind of feel bad celebrating it, but I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. I've had some really bad luck this year in the other league, and it's kind of nice to maybe this is turning things around my season. So it's just, yeah, it feels nice. Got some money in the bank now, and thanks to the league, obviously, the sponsor for throwing some cash in, and then I got to thank Chris for also the $100 challenge to start the back, which is probably where I belonged. I just thankfully the seas parted there, and I got through it.
Nah, man, you didn't belong in the back. That was a well-deserved win. I mean, you ran a heck of a race. Man, Trevor, I don't know if you want to jump in here. I mean, I know you were excited with that finish, and I don't know if you want to talk to Cody at all here after his All-Star win.
Well, Cody, I mean,
you caught up with us.
I mean, it was, I can see scrapes on both sides of your car there. This was anything but a clean race here. It was clear that aggression was going to be the key here. And at what point did you, think, I mean, because we're seeing other people turning cars, we're seeing other people losing it a little bit, getting into that red mist. You kept your head clear, you didn't turn anybody. At what point do you decide, okay, maybe I'll just stay clean at the end of this one, and that's the way forward?
Yeah, so here's the thing, I mean, I've raced with these guys for a long time now, probably 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years.
With that said, I understand that a few of us need to be neutered, if you know what I mean. A little bit too aggressive, but and I can be fit in that category as well time to time. But yeah, when the cautions kept flying at the end, I told Dustin, I said, you're gonna get the bumper from somebody, and for me, it's funny, but it's not funny. I said, Dustin, if you wreck, you need to wreck the 7 guys behind you, so I get through it and win. And it's like we spoke that into existence. I don't even know what to say, but yeah, I mean, you kind of just expect that. These guys are aggressive. I say these guys, I'm part of that too, but we're all aggressive anyways. And then you put some money on the line, where nothing else really matters. If you finish second, it doesn't mean anything. Things are going to be intense, and intensity level is always going to go up. So I wasn't surprised to see the 16 go around. I was surprised to see everybody else crash, but it worked out.
Well, still, to see the 16 spin around, especially when he had been so solid all race long, must have been difficult. And certainly your discussion with him, he must be incredibly gutted, because he was in great position to take that $100. He was defending very well all night. But still, for it to go from one KPR Motorsports teammate to yourself, that's got to be one great saving grace. And certainly for both of you to share in this victory is an awesome way to go. And KPR Motorsports, I mean, talk about coming out of really nowhere. It's been all flatline up until very recently, and all of a sudden we see some unknown faces show up in KPR Motorsports, and now it's looking like KPR is ready to challenge the rest of these teams here in the NORA League. And you're doing a fabulous job out there, but certainly you can talk a little bit about that, what it's like to be part of this group, and all of these great drivers here for KPR.
Yeah, it's it's funny. It just started out meeting some guys in official races. Great thing about our team is that we're not just teammates. We're all really best friends. Tyson, who you guys, I don't think you've met him yet. He'll drive from time to time. One of the founding members of the race team. We were all in Dustin's wedding. He's one of my best friends. We chat every day. But I also understand that, like, and I'm not just saying this because I know the guy, but I think Dustin is probably legit the best iRacer that I've ever raced with. He just is consistent and good, rarely makes mistakes. When he makes a mistake, you know it because of how rare it is. And so he's great in anything you put him in. You can put him in, I don't care if you put him in a go-kart, or you put him in a late model, or a Gen 6 or whatever it may be. He's going to be good. But there's a lot of team chemistry there. Everybody talks about, like, hey, this line's working, or hey, this is our lifting point. This is where we need to be to make gains here. This is how we're saving tires. So all that goes into what we do. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Dustin, steps into these cars and immediately starts challenging for wins and such. Now, with that said, the flatline guys are, definitely, I don't want to say our rivals, but are definitely the competition. This is the first year that Dustin and I kind of split series, where we're racing trucks and he's racing, the Cup Series, and it's the first time we've ever had a chance to win 2 championships in one season. So that's definitely the goal. But take it one race at a time, try to get as many playoff points as you can, and have a good playoff run. But right now it's just about setting us up for the time the playoffs start, so we're prepared for anything. The great thing about this part of the season is you go to all these different dynamic tracks. Sometimes some of them you'll see when you get to the playoffs. So it's just about being consistent and being ready and prepared. But yeah, couldn't imagine racing with anybody else. Love those guys.
Any final shout outs tonight? I'm sure you're pretty happy with 98 Exteriors and Christopher Heights, but in addition to them, and then give us a little preview of Charlotte next week.
Yeah, I have been waiting to do this since since I started the season, but I wanted to give a shout out to my baby girl. My wife and I had our first baby this year, and I said my first win I was going to dedicate to my little girl. So Aniston, if you watch this in 15 years, you realize how uncool your dad actually is playing a video game, but hopefully it'll mean something to you. And of course, my wife, she lets me do this, doesn't complain about, multiple nights a week that I race. She's actually standing here next to me, not holding a gun to my head for me to say all these nice things about her. But
you made money tonight. That's a good thing.
Yeah, made some money. I can't say I've ever done that iRacing, but yeah, thank God, and putting me in a position where I can, afford to do this and all that. And you guys broadcasting, Josh, putting on the league 98 exteriors. Thanks for the cash. Appreciate it. Chris, thanks for the cash. Yeah, it's been a good night.
Great night from you, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Charlotte next week, a track that all these drivers are very familiar with and look forward to each and every season. Cody, awesome job out there. KPR Motorsports on the rise. We'll look forward to seeing you next week and picking up where we left off in NORA Cup.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, as far as Charlotte goes, just save those tires. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks a lot. That's Cody Reeder. And Christian, that was some awesome stuff here tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm at a loss of words for how this one ended up, but All-Star Race lived up to its name.
Yeah, and actually, I want to make a little adjustment here. 5th place was actually Josh Conover, so I wanted to pull him up real quick. Josh, tell us how that race went for you. We're getting this in real quick here, but I mean, 5th place in the All-Star, it's not bad. And has you being the owner of this, tell us how exciting that was.
I was telling them when I was waiting, I was nice and cool the whole race, and now I'm sweating. So it was interesting there at the end. I mean, I kind of figured, money on the line. The first half went green, so you kind of expect the carnage, but it was fun. Kind of disappointed. It's funny to say disappointed in 5th, but I thought I kind of pinched Dustin, so I kind of just EOL'd myself in a way, and then looking at it, probably was more of a racing deal, so probably could have kept my spot and not spun, I think, the 2 or 3 times that I did, but it is what it is. We're all here for fun, and I hope that finish was something to watch.
Oh, it was something, and I think Trevor will agree with me with saying this. NORA, every single week you guys put on an amazing show, and with kind of rules being out the window tonight, it put on that short track feel, and that was so exciting. I think Trevor will agree that's one of the best races so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think, you want to see these cars just keep wrecking until it's just like 4 or 5 cars left to finish at the end. It was a lot of fun to keep watching you guys go out there and retry it. But we saw everything. I mean, we saw Vincent Arthur try to send it around the outside, come from the back. Josh, we saw you get involved in a couple of incidents, but you had your chance up at the front. All of these drivers, it was like a round-robin rotation. Everybody had their shot at the front, but that finish was spectacular. It was fireworks, and I can't imagine anything more amazing than watching the top 4 or 5 cars just absolutely take each other out, and for Cody Reeder to come through from the back of the pack and collect that $200. It's like the most unlikely situation ever.
Yeah, we were kind of going over the finish, and like I was telling Nick and even like Vincent, we were all down there. I'm like, this is kind of like the hardest finish to get together, just because normally obviously we wouldn't end under yellow, but because there's no lights here, we wanted as close as we can get to the night race without, obviously racing in the dark. We didn't want unlimited green white checkers and be there all night. So when the 3 of us spun off of 4, it changed the finish, and I kind of had to go through and was like, okay, well, he spun, so he's not there. Okay, this guy made it through, this guy spun. It made it interesting for sure.
Well, that was some awesome racing from everybody here in this All-Star race, and but at the same time, I'm going to look forward to getting back to a little bit of normalcy next week at Charlotte. And Josh, I'm sure you're going to be looking forward to getting back with the Flatline team and trying to defend this owners championship, as well as get back up there in the points in the truck and the Cup cars next week.
Yeah, trucks are off next week just because the race would be on Memorial Day, so we give them the week off, and then they'll be at Charlotte the following week. But now the Cup cars will be there on Tuesday, and it's gonna be a long one. It'll be the longest race of the year, but I don't know. Should be interesting. I know, obviously, kind of like Christian said, the rulebook kind of goes out the window tonight. Besides just basically the EOLs, but it was, like I said, it was still fun. And then next week we go back to reality and kind of put our thinking caps and race with some respect again. But I don't know. Charlotte's always put on good racing, especially in the, I guess, quote unquote higher up series that we run. So could be interesting and a lot of pit stops, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, thanks for joining us here in post-race Abby's Sweet Treats Home Bakery Victory Circle discussion. We'll see you next week at Charlotte, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
So that is Josh Conover of Flatline Motorsports. He didn't have the race that he would have liked tonight. He would have liked to collect $100. But Christian, this was insanity. And next week should be a lot of fun as well. Only one race on VirtualRacing.Network from the NORA Cup and Truck Series. But it'll be a lot of fun, again, from Charlotte, a place that all of these drivers know so well. Last thoughts on tonight's race?
I'm still gathering my thoughts on tonight's race. I mean, that was probably the most exciting race I've ever actually called or been a part of. And being up here, man, it's so rewarding. I absolutely love being up here. I hope, more series jump on, seeing the coverage that we give. This is just so much fun. Me and you are I don't want to say it, but we're the best out there, man.
Well, we are having a lot of fun, and yes, there are some really great things cooking. We'll be able to announce it very, very soon. But speaking of cooking, there's a lady who's making some great cookies and cake pops, and her name is Abby over in Minnesota. She'll ship you some of these awesome things in the mail. I'm looking forward to getting my Indy 500 cookies coming in the mail here in the next couple of days. There's Oreo pies, there's brownies, there's all kinds of custom cookies, great for parties, great for weddings, all the rest of that kind of stuff, birthday parties, anything you can think of. There's the phone number, 812-264-1624, abcobb@gmail.com. Abby's Sweet Treats on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Of course, I thank Christian Snyder for joining us, our sponsors here, Abby's Sweet Treats, as well as 98 Exteriors, and Christopher Heights for throwing down that money for our winner, Cody Reeder. And on behalf of everybody here in NORA, we thank you for joining us out there in YouTube land. If you're not already a subscriber, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video for much more in the future. And we'll see you again next week on Tuesday night, same time, 8:25 Eastern Time, right here. This has been Trevor Greenfield on VirtualRacing.Network and Christian Snyder signing off. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.